All right, guys. Sean Severs here with Justin Rogers,
Hello, hello.
and we're here with Action Auto. We're giving you weekly updates. Again, Justin is the general manager for Action Auto based in Prescott, and so we wanted to go ahead and take it a step further to really give you guys the intels of what it's like to receive service from a five-star shop. You guys been in the industry up in Prescott 18 years, right?
18 years, yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it's now important for shops that have a great reputation to share what it takes because there's a lot that is changing in the atmosphere, like with corporate shops, and the thing is, we know no one trusts mechanics. It's like the
Yeah.
unspoken truth, and we want to do our due diligence to educate the people of Prescott and Prescott Valley, or the county named
Yavapai.
Yavapai. I can never say it. So we wanted to go ahead and take the time to just kind of just have a just organic conversation and really make this a standard. So if you're seeing this video and you're tapping into this Action Auto news, really let us know and give us intel of what you like, what you didn't like, and most importantly, what you want to hear about in the future. Because we really want to make this a standard to be the trustworthy, obvious choice for Prescott.
Obvious choice.
Yes, the obvious choice.
So the obvious choice. And that's just it. We have worked really hard in
Mm-hmm.
order to build trust in the community. It is a small community. Things are a little different up there than in the big city for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to build relationships. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Building relationships with people. People don't buy from who they don't like,
Mm-hmm.
really, and people don't bring their vehicles to people that they don't connect with.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've really done as much as we possibly can to build those relationships. And yeah, it really has been beneficial for us and for them in that relationship. So yeah, that's really it. The secret is relationships.
Yeah, I say it's the biggest. The currency of the people that you have relations with is bigger than any currency. You give somebody 5,000 great relationships, or somebody with $5,000. Like, which is going to go further? It's if you use it right and you understand the value of the relationships, and you treat those relationships with the same value you do with the dollar. Those
Hmm.
relationships will take you a lot further than you just getting $5,000 up front, if you
Yeah.
understand that.
Oh yeah. We always want return customers,
Mm-hmm.
which means that we have to provide a legitimate service. And based on, I mean, kind of speaking on what you said about that, the trust of mechanics, I think that was all in a lack of communication, basically.
Mm-hmm.
A lack of communication. There was people that would come out and say, you need this, and then they wouldn't give you any type of dialogue as to why.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is we take it not only a step further to give them the why,
Mm-hmm.
but we also take pictures, take videos. We make sure that the customer understands, can see, can and make the proper decision for what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we never force them to make that decision. We say, here's the information. This is what it's going to be. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people love that we go to that level. We take it to the next step,
Mm-hmm.
and providing that communication, because with lack of communication comes um, you're confused. You don't know what to do,
You
right?
assume. Yep.
And so we try to get rid of all confusion. Proper communication, and a upbeat type of a communication as well.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to be dreary. And also a huge thing is empathy. You empathize with them and say, hey, I understand you're going through it, and this is what's going on. I've had that happen to me before too,
Right.
and it's a wear and tear item. People don't really realize that a lot of stuff on a car wears down,
Yeah.
and when we say, oh, it is a wear and tear item, they're like, oh, well, I didn't really think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So like bearings, people really don't really understand, but bearings are wear items. They will wear down.
Yeah.
And but brakes obviously are wear items, and people know that.
Some
But
faster than others, depending on your habits.
it really depends on how they drive.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a neat little thing we got going on, and I'm very proud of my dad, who has really built this business to what it is.
Hmm.
And even though we started it together, we didn't build it together.
Hmm.
But I've come back into the scene now, and I did own a couple other businesses while not working with Action and with my dad, and did well in those businesses, and brought some of that understanding into Action Automotive, and
Hmm.
now it's been doing well and doing really good the last 4 years. Constant growth, and just focusing on building those relationships and doing good jobs for people, and being there for people.
And that's really it's exciting. Ever since we've started, this media relationship where we've been putting action in the community first, because essentially this is what you jumping on camera and you guys sharing everything is that's a step in the direction of wanting to build better trust with your local community. And a lot of people can't say that, or they're quite frankly, terrified of doing that.
Hmm.
And I guess going into the point, like this is a second generation going into a third generation.
I think it's actually third generation going into fourth. It skipped a generation with my grandfather, but my
Yeah.
great grandfather owned Rogers Automotive out in Texas.
Hmm.
And then my dad obviously was an awesome mechanic
Hmm.
for many years, and unfortunately he hurt his neck
Hmm.
and couldn't work on cars for a few years.
Hmm.
And so during that time, we started Action Automotive,
Hmm.
and he then took off with Action Automotive, and has just thrived with it. And his giving nature has really been a quite an effective tactic
Hmm.
to to get people back in the door,
Yeah.
and everybody loves him for it. Everybody sometimes, I mean, everybody needs a helping hand sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's something that we pride ourselves on, is
Hmm.
the ability to be able to provide the helping hand when needed. And Eric put that culture into the business, and I just am doing everything that I can to continue to provide that same culture.
Most definitely. So with that being said, like what would you say with that helping hand, I guess going into what's to come? Because right now, this currently it's October with the weather changing.
Yeah, we're
Again,
getting into our slow season.
it's typically a slower season. What is something as a consumer that has a vehicle? Because you guys work on everyday drivers, people that might be going to and from work, or they might be dropping the kids off, or they might have a fleet of vehicles.
Sure.
What type of vehicles do you work on, and not only that, but what vehicles, uh, what symptoms should people be looking out for as far as preventative as the seasons start to change, so they can stay ahead of that bill that it tends to sneak up on us from time to time in terms of like repairs and maintenance.
Absolutely. I always say it's going to the auto repair shop is like going to the dentist.
Hmm.
It's going to hurt, and it's going to probably cost you money that you weren't expecting to spend.
Hmm.
So that's where the empathy part comes into play for us. We understand people's situations as best as possible,
Hmm.
and relate to them, and that really makes a difference.
Hmm.
And it's not super bland in business only. It's about building that relationship again.
Right.
We work on pretty much all domestic vehicles, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, all those. I don't know if I can say that on air, but specifically domestic vehicles, as well as some import vehicles, mostly Japanese. We don't really work on European vehicles too often. We have a guy that we send our European customers to,
Hmm.
and it's been a great relationship.
Hmm.
We do like those types of relationships. Business to business relationships are important just as much as it is important to be in a good relationship with your customers. So we try to build those relationships as well, and that worked out for us really well. Things you should probably look out for in the wintertime is squeaks and grinds, type of sounds, feelings, vibrations. anything that's out of the norm. You know your car better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel, especially driving through bad weather, if you start to feel any kind of weird vibrations, or hear any grinding noises,
Right.
or when you're braking, if it starts to squeak, that means it's kind of gone too far. If you let your brakes get to the point to where they're squeaking, you probably are going to need rotors now
Right.
instead of just brake pads.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you can kind of keep an eye, preventative maintenance is huge. It saves you a lot of money in the long run. And so, but suspension is a big issue as well. Like I was saying before we started the podcast, bad suspension can lead to accidents.
Mm-hmm.
And we offer a free inspection to check suspension and brakes and all of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because we want everybody to be safe. Like I was saying, we all drive on the same road.
Mm-hmm.
My son, my granddaughter, me, my family, everybody's driving on the same road.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you to be safe. So that's just a service that we think should be free anywhere. We
Mm-hmm.
should be, you should be able to go anywhere and just say, hey, am I dangerous here?
Right.
And someone actually take a look at it and tell you that yes or no, whether it, and not really charge you for that, because it's really just a service that should be, in my opinion, just provided.
No, 100%.
We're all trying to be safe and trying to get back home to our families. So, I think and that's been huge for us.
Yeah.
It's been really huge for us. We do get a lot of new customers and phone calls, people asking for the full inspection and asking if we offer free inspections. Obviously, yes. And people really enjoy that. It's a great way to start a new relationship.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess with you saying that, one of the things that come to mind, I think is important, you were talking about, is that's really giving an education of like what's the local relationship look like versus the corporate relationship, because a lot of people don't necessarily know. They speak about it unknowingly, but like this would be a great opportunity to give people an idea of what they can do to support their local community, whether they're up there in the area vacationing or they have been there for quite some time. What does it look like in your perspective, working inside of Action Auto, that people can kind of have difference of what it is to come to an Action Auto versus, I say, a corporate shop that's up in Prescott?
Well, obviously, when you go to a local shop, you're keeping the money in the community and not shipping any of the money out to wherever their corporate office is in some other state. When you are dealing with a local shop, you're going to get way better customer service, period. You're not going to be just a number. You are actually a person who is dealing with this situation. And we are there to help get you through that situation. And from what I've noticed at corporate offices, it's just a number. They're just there and they have goals and they have quotas and things like specific job counts and per job quotas to get to. People were recommending things that aren't really needed in order to get them to their minimum per job quota for cost of job. That is something that I think is just wrong. And it should be more honest than that, and more person to person based, not just everybody falls into this certain category and that's what they just want to get that job up as high as possible, and they don't really care about anything else.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. It's corporate. Corporate's mostly about the money. We've never been that way. We've never been about the money. We've always been about the people, and that's what Eric says all the time. It's what I'm trying to keep going with his legacy here, is to make it about the people and to have a heart in this business.
Right.
It's really pushes you to the next level, and you can say that you have this understanding of what they're going through.
No, 100%.
And so they, that's what I think is the difference between corporate and hometown values. So
yeah.
hometown has just a way better value base, and we care about you. You
Yeah.
live here, we live here. We're probably going to run into each other. It's a small town,
Yeah.
and I want to do right by you. So not only do you tell your friend or neighbor, but you also feel I'm a friend, and you want to talk to me in public if we ever run into each other,
Hmm.
and you're not, you feel good about your experience with us.
That's I'm glad you said that, because that is the thing when we came up there to film, walking around town and went to the restaurant. What was the restaurant that we went to?
Le Bruises.
Le Bruises.
Give it a shot.
It's good, I can confirm. And the combinations is really good, but the fact that you guys have a sense of pride of who you're serving, because you know you're going to run into them.
Oh,
There's a lot of people that bypass. That's the thing with corporate. Typically, there's people that run a corporate shop, they'll bypass the moral integrity that they they might just have organically, but they've got a quota to hit because they've got to hit X amount of dollars,
mm-hmm.
and therefore they might sacrifice that. And here's another thing: you're not even putting money back into the community. Your family, is,
Yeah.
Eric and everybody, your mom, everyone has put so much back into the community,
Yes.
and everybody verbally knows it. We filmed and we went all over town numerous times. People were talking about just how much you guys are invested into the community, meaning the dollar's
Absolutely.
going back literally, not just, oh, it's going back into a business, but the business is putting money back without even thinking about it.
Oh yeah. We definitely want to keep the money in town, and make sure that everybody is thriving in our business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got a whole shop of guys to basically provide for.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do what we do to make sure that every one of our crew is taken care of. We still understand that we are here to make money.
Mm-hmm.
We can't give massive discounts to every single person that comes through the door.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, we do have heart, and we do understand where people come from. But we also have a responsibility to make sure that our guys and everybody that's on the crew is being able to feed themselves, feed their kids,
Mm-hmm.
keep a roof over their head, all that kind of stuff. But it's funny because we're still way cheaper than other places, and we
Mm-hmm.
still can provide that for our people because we have great customers. And we build those relationships, and we really do. We give back a lot when it comes to that. We start with our guys. They're the heartbeat.
Yeah.
They mean everything, and they put forth a lot of effort. And mechanics, they have to invest their own money in all their tools and toolboxes and stuff like that. I don't know very many other professions that have to put that much money into their
Yeah,
profession.
you guys have a lot of coin in their investment of their craft.
Absolutely.
Especially like Gay, all of them. Yeah,
20,000, $30,000, $50,000 worth
Yeah.
of tools, and or more,
Yeah.
and just to be able to fix your serpentine belt,
Yeah.
like it's like, so we start with them. We do like to help. We've got a shelter right down the street from where we are. It's a women's shelter.
Mhm.
We like to help them. We always go with local ads in the papers and magazines and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and keep it local that way, and put ourselves out there that way. And and we also, if there's a time where somebody is very much in need, we will extend our hand, and we will help them, and get them back on the road and back on their way to success, which is what everybody wants.
Mhm.
So if we can help somebody get to that point, then we would like to jump on that opportunity.
So if you're watching this and you've bought something off of Amazon, or you've gone to the dealership, and we've all done it to the capacity, or you go to the corporate shop, think twice and consider going to a local shop, because it is now important in 2025, going into 2026, where it is important to support local businesses. And I can attest, I've been to 25 shops this year, over 25 shops, and your guys it's one of the best groups, and it's one of the best it gets. And I've been all across the country, going to different shops, helping them tell their story, the story that they have and the trust that they have, and you want to convey that. And you have some of the most honest people that want to do good, and you can see it on their face, and you know they intentionally want to provide great service and they want to do a good job, as opposed to just find something that doesn't necessarily need to be found. And so with that,
Exactly.
I guess, going into the good customer scenario, what does a good customer look like versus maybe a bad customer? Because like this is a conversation I don't think is probably a new conversation that's going to come to the city of Prescott to kind of get an idea. Like I never thought about it like that. What's a good customer versus a bad customer? So if someone knows how to treat the etiquette of walking into a corporate shop versus a local shop.
So when you're taking on a new customer, there's certain questions that we like to ask, because we do like to provide a service to everybody. Sometimes we're not the shop for some people. One thing that we have gotten very good at over the 18 years is we can tell through the questions and things that we ask when we first talk to somebody, whether or not they're going to be a good fit, the psychology, the sociology of our team, of this industry, excuse me, and what people's perception of it is. We can kind of use that to our benefit in the questions we ask. Qualifying questions is what they call it, right? So qualify our customers. Have we ever seen your vehicle before? Has this ever been looked at by another shop? These types of questions, even though they're super easy, you can get a lot of information from them. And so you can tell whether someone's just calling around to shop for pricing and all of that stuff. And we've actually stopped doing quotes over the phone. We offer a free inspection. Please bring it down. We want to look at it. I don't care what your friend or buddy or somebody who's working on cars in their front parking lot or driveway
There's too
said.
many variables. There's too many variables to
Exactly.
I can give you a ballpark, which you can do that, but it's like going back to the dentist scenario. I can give you a rough estimate of what that root canal might be, or if you wanted some veneers, but like I need to see what your mouth looks like. I need to know what your history is of your health. Overall, it's the health of your vehicle, because as we know, no one trusts a mechanic.
Right.
So if they want to keep a great reputation, that you've serviced 18 years, 18,000 vehicles, over 18,000, 20,000 vehicles, you must be.
So I did the research on it. We did 25,128 jobs as of the end of September.
That is
since the beginning.
That is extraordinary.
Yeah.
To keep the thoroughness, because you guys have some of the best, if not the best, Google reviews up in Prescott.
We are blessed to have great customers when it comes to that.
Part of that, people get frustrated with us, like, why can't you give me a code? Well, if I give you misinformation, then that puts the reputation of the shop at risk. And it was just a miscommunication. It wasn't you didn't give us a chance to be thorough with our work.
Right.
Just explain that, because like I get it, like, oh, why can't you give me a code? But hearing it from the other side is important.
Yes. Thorough reporting is absolutely clutch, and it's key. You wouldn't go to, so like you were talking about dentists, like I went to the dentist and I wanted a second opinion. Well, the second opinion dentist I had to pay for the exact same checkup and the diagnostic of my, they had to do like the x-ray of my mouth and all of that stuff twice, and I had to pay for it twice. And they're not going to just say, oh, well, since this other dentist said that you need a root canal, I'm just going to go ahead and do it for you. They're going to look at it themselves, because it's their name on the line.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times we've gotten, it's probably a high rate in the 70%, I would say, of people that bring their car to us that says that they're garage mechanic or somebody who's their neighbor who's been a mechanic before misdiagnosed what they were wanting a quote for. And then when we look at it, we go, oh yeah, no, this is what it is here. And we fix it. And it's like, okay, and it's fixed and it's great, but it had nothing to do with what they called to get a quote for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why we insist on getting the car there so that we could put it up on the rack, get underneath there, see what's going on, and then give you the proper information with, professional mechanics
Mm-hmm.
that have been doing this for 15 to 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
depends on who it is. So, that is something that we provide that has actually absolutely blown up in our city because, you can bring it to us and we'll take a look at it for free, at least for the free inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Diagnostics. Here, let's talk about this. Let's talk about diagnostics.
Let's talk about that.
Let's do that. Let's just take a pause on this because this is such an important topic. When to charge diagnostics?
Yeah, this is going to be the clip out of this whole thing. This is going to be the one that we use for sure.
Okay, so we offer a free inspection.
Yep.
A free inspection goes through and shakes down everything. Something easy enough to where if we can touch it, see it, smell it, feel it, then that's part of the free inspection. If we are dealing with a check engine light or a squeak or something like that is we don't know where it is immediately, we may have to bust out our tools to take a part off the car to get down deep enough to find what's wrong. That's when diagnostics come into play, because now we have to actually break out the tools that we paid for and use them to figure out what's wrong with the vehicle. I mean, my scan tool was $7,000, $7,000, and most people want their car scanned for free because AutoZone and O'Reilly's and all that will scan your car with their little $50 scanner, and they'll say, okay, well, this is what you need. And then they'll call us and they'll say, well, AutoZone or O'Reilly's told us we need such and such. It's like, still, okay, well, we'd like you to bring it to us real quick so that we could scan it.
You can verify, yeah.
We need to verify. Most times, this is the way you can kind of qualify a customer, is if they go, well, why? They said, don't they know what they're doing?
It's a parts store.
It's a parts store. It's not an automotive repair shop.
Two different things.
Exactly.
And maybe let's dive into just that redundant. It might seem so simple, but people don't know the difference because, as we can see, they call and I've heard this more than once, and it's not more than just your shop. Let's give that. What is the difference of that objectively? Because we're doing this to educate. We want to be on the forefront of education. We're not trying to pick. We want to have the trust and education out there because we want everybody to have good customers, because there's people that you might come and see, or they might come and get a diagnostic and you won't even take the work.
Right.
You'll give it to a trusted, referred local business that is specialist because you want the job to be done right, because you know it can backfire versus taking anything and everything.
Exactly. We don't take every job that comes in the door. It has to benefit everybody. It has to be a job that we know is going to be a for sure thing that's going to fix it and not have repeat coming back to try to.
You don't want
continue to. No, we want to diagnose it and get it right the first time. And if some types of jobs, we just know that this is a lot of bolts to turn. This is a lot of connectors to undo and redo. It's a lot of wiring, a lot of stuff like engines and stuff like that. Really hard to do. And a lot of ifs, did that connector get put back on all the way? And that can cause all kinds of problems. And all you would have hours of diagnostic to try to find that this connector is buried underneath the engine somewhere on top of the transmission, and try and find it and figure it out. That's something that we decide as a team, is this something that we want to take on?
Because we understand they understand that you guys might have somewhere to be, unless you accepted that fact, right?
Yes, exactly. We have a meeting every time a big job like that comes in the door. Like engines or transmissions, not so much. Sometimes depends on the truck or whatever. But most of the times, if it's like an engine or we have to pull the cab off a truck, like big jobs like that, we sit down and say, okay, let's go over the repair info. Let's do that. Let's talk about your confidence in doing this job, because we have so much to do with this job.
Mm-hmm.
And if it 9 times out of 10, our guys are awesome. They're the shit. So they're always like, yeah, come on, let's go. You
Yeah.
know, but still having that meeting kind of re solidifies the importance of that job,
Yeah.
and to be serious about it, and
Yeah.
to look at the details.
That re-emphasizes empathy, because
Yes.
you're not just thinking about the job. You're thinking about Susie that needs to go down to Phoenix and she needs her car by Thursday, but she gave it to you on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And if I tell you you can get it done in 3 days, I want to make sure we get it done, because if it's not, then you're unhappy. We're in a bind wanting to get it done fast, and now
Yep.
it's just a rushed process that's looking to have a disaster because we didn't consider what you needed to do. And that's the other thing I think is super underrated, that kind of gets swept, because I get it, like it's a tough job. It is a tough industry, and it's a needed industry. It's tough, it's needed, and you want people that are prideful in doing that job, versus they get burnt out, or they get burnt to the point where they're so numb to doing everything, to where they don't even think about the layers that come into it, because you're a professional problem solver. If you own an automotive
Yes.
shop, your job is to solve problems 24/7, essentially, at work and not at work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When the building relationships with customers sometimes ends up in you giving them your cell phone number.
Yeah.
Don't ever give customers your cell phone number. Anybody watching, please don't do it. It can turn into something completely crazy. But
Yeah.
and Eric did that. Eric gave everybody his cell phone
Mhm.
number. So the phones aren't ringing in the front office, but his cell phone's going off as he's under a car trying to get a transmission or a transfer case out or something,
Yeah.
and his phone's just going off, and he can't do his work
Mhm.
because he just kept giving people his cell phone number. He put his cell phone number on our first round of business cards. Yeah.
That was fun.
It's the same number now as it was then.
Yeah.
It's been like he's got the same number for 20 years.
Yeah.
And still people from back in 2009 are calling him like, hey, I haven't been there in a while, but I've got this problem. Can you take a look at it?
Yeah.
And I've had to train him to say, well, call the front office. I don't do scheduling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been tough for him. The change and the upgrade and the increase in business has been interesting for him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's touched one of the tablets ever.
Yeah.
No, never. Yeah, he's
Doesn't have
still
to.
old school,
Yeah.
He knows that they're there, and he knows, and he's happy about the big TVs and stuff like that, so he can see wired diagrams and stuff like
Right.
that really clearly. But yeah, he's really old school, and I know a lot of people love that about him.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's kind of neat having those people come in and just want to talk with Eric. But he's retiring. This
Mhm.
is like I'll let him announce it, but he is thinking about retiring, and just kind of just trying to decide a date. And then once that happens, then I'm going to be needing another A tech at the shop. I'm looking for somebody with a little bit of diesel experience, A tech, ASE certified, that has probably anywhere between 5 to 10 years experience, working on multiple types of vehicles. And we're going to need somebody of that caliber,
Mhm.
because we're losing a massive asset in Eric when he decides to retire.
Yeah.
And it's scary
Yeah.
because he's such a good tech, and
Yeah.
he's so good with people. And so, we're not excited about when that day comes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But this is I guess, now that we've done this, I don't know if you're thinking about it when we first we talked to each other back in May, but now that we've put the notoriety of like the culture of the shop, especially the whole idea, because that's where my motivation to continue to help shops is, go to a shop that has a local feel versus corporate. And some shops have gotten the knack of a local field where they do invest back into, but a lot of them miss the mark. But we want to show people that might be graduating from college up there that have an inspiration more so where they may be attracted to come to a place like Action to grow a career, because it is very well that environment where that's where a lot of people might be looking for, whether they've got 5-10 years of experience or they want to prove themselves and they have the experience. And again, I want to just kind of get your intel on it, just to speak to somebody that might see this when we use it. Is Action as a home that people can look to build, because you guys take care of your people. You guys are very receptive. It's not just it's not a one-sided affair. You have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, where it is a two-way street, so you can make things better, which is why it has become better in terms of how everything's been moving fast. But I don't know. I would love to get your feedback on that. Just the environment you've created. You want people to want to build in a career, and Action be a big part of it for, a great deal of your automotive career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like Gabriel, he came to us out of high school, he ended up going to Yavapai College, the diesel program that they have there for the mechanics, and graduated like top of his class, and then went full time. And that was what I think it was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so he's been, full time going crazy, and in 3 years he's built a massive following. His name is known all over town as one of the best diesel mechanics. And Eric working with him for a couple years prior to him graduating and all of that, and really helped. And him going to school, which was kind of a double edge, because him going to school, he actually came back and taught Eric some things, which was neat.
Nice.
And so the type of banter that they had sometimes was really funny.
Yeah.
And it really was a fun day.
New school, old school.
Yeah, new school against old school. Exactly. It's like, why do I do it this way? Why are you doing it that way? It's like, well, that's what they taught me in school. And he's like, no, try it this way. That gave him a little bit of anxiety. He didn't want to do it that way because that's not how they taught it, but because he's got 35, 40 years of experience, no, he's got 35 or 28 years of experience. So 28 years of experience. It might even be longer than that because he's 62. I don't even know.
It's somewhere around there.
No,
half of his life.
He's been working on cars since he was 16 years old. He's 62, so it's like 40 something years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. In terms of officially started, like if you're being technical,
right? So he's been doing it his whole life. Let's just say that. Like he has not ever not worked on car. He's got a story about him taking the lawnmower motor apart and fixing it and putting it back together when he was like 5.
Roger activities.
Yeah. Like he just loved engines from day one, he just loved it. And so, he's followed his dream, and now he's living it. He owns a good spot with one of the best reputations in town. And that's all him, that's all him. I mean, when I came back and was like, we should start, getting these reviews and stuff of people that you've done really good things for, and see who would respond. And we got over 120 5-star reviews within like 3 months because I just put it out there. If you've ever worked with this company before, let us know how your time was. How did your experience go?
Yeah.
And I think we had, like 118 5-star reviews in like 3 months. It's like crazy, right?
Even now, fast forward, what are you at right now?
318 total reviews. 312, I believe, are 5-star.
Nice.
Yeah. So we can't impress everybody.
No, you can't.
I mean,
I said, it's tough industry.
Sometimes, people just.
That's why you gotta be thorough.
Yes, thorough. Because and to be honest, this is the whole point of the question that you asked about the customer. How do you keep yourself from getting entwined with a customer who is, no matter what you do, isn't going to be enough? We have there's customers all over the place like that. And, you're never going to do it right. It's never going to be finished correctly. It's something's going to be wrong, or they're going to they're going to find something to complain about.
Mhm.
And trying to wean out those type of people is really hard from the beginning. You don't really know unless you do work for them. But they are out there, and that just seems that I mean, it could be my perspective, but it seems like they're just there to try to cause drama,
Mhm.
and maybe get something for free.
Yeah.
It's a cruel world out there. I'm
Yeah.
sure that it's not too far fetched to think that people will go into a company and
It comes
try
it,
and take advantage of them.
it comes with the territory. There's always somebody that's looking to grab an opportunity, and that's part of the job is to sort, but be able to identify, your ideal person that you can serve. Because at the end of the day, you're providing a service,
Absolutely.
and literally the job is to be of service. So if I can help you, I'm going to put you in the best position and the team in the best position to be of service. But if you can't work within our guidelines, or we can't help you, we are not going to put both parties in jeopardy. And it's not personal. It's the fact that this company cares about their reputation, because people talk about good word of mouth, but bad word of mouth happens the same,
Absolutely.
which is a lot of people don't talk about. And this is why you're getting in front of it, where you're like, hey, we're going to have a conversation about how this shop is growing, because it's not perfect. No shop's perfect, but you guys have a temperature of where your growth's at and you want to improve it. That's the mentality. And
Yep.
That's progression. Progression is the only
Absolutely.
obsession.
Yep.
And that was cool. Even the whole Gabe and Eric, like that speaks to the culture that has been created, even with Eric, where he's at least receptive and asking the question of like why you're doing it. Because there's a lot of shops, and again, where there's no questioning. Like you either do it this way or you need to hit the high. And then to an extent, that's there, but off being open to different ways being done successfully.
Yeah. Absolutely. To be able to be a critical thinker.
Yeah.
Critical thinking is an absolute necessity in this industry.
Mhm.
AI can't take this over.
Nope.
AI ain't gonna start fixing cars.
No.
They're not gonna. It's not gonna be able to diagnose your car.
Yeah.
And it's not. It might be able to answer the phone.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna do that, because I'm never gonna put my customers in a position to be talking to a computer. It's always going to be a hometown feel. No matter how big we grow, there's always going to be somebody answering the phone, because I'm not going to have a computer, scheduling for me and all of that stuff. I mean, I could do it, and it probably save us some money, but it's not the type of vibe we want to put out there. And knowing that this is an essential type of a business, we really have doubled down now. It's time to really hit the road running, and start to really do something with this thing, because we've built a great base. And you asked about what the future holds for us. We're looking to expand. We're looking for multiple locations. We're looking for to provide advancement opportunities for our guys. Because that's something that every good business provides, and we want to be that. We want to be there for our team, and we want to be there for our customers and our community. And we give back to the community. We pay our guys top notch, top rates. They make good money, and we don't overdo it with our customers. We're fair. We're fair with our customers, and that building that relationship has just been crucial in where we are today.
Yeah.
So those three things is basically the essentials that you need to run a successful automotive repair business.
Most definitely.
Fair to the customers, give back to the community, and an understanding of how important your team is.
Yeah.
So.
And it's been great. And I guess one thing I want to do is just to have a clip, because I want to do a driver, because it's been great to see how many people, since we've started just making the media for Action Auto such a priority. I want to share thanks and just affirmation, excitement to see how many people have commented and said so many great things with the content that we've been putting out, introducing the staff and the culture. And I want to encourage people to continue to do that. And
yes, please.
I want to I don't know, maybe put something in place where again we can, we don't have to like we could do like if you're a customer, if you've been a customer of Action Automotive, next time you come in, join the Action Automotive team. Let's get you
Let's get
Action
your,
Automotive
yeah,
shirt,
join the team.
right?
I like that. That's definitely why we are actionautoteam.com. It's not that we're a team and that work in the building. It was made that way and understood when we decided to go with that domain name, that you are a part of our team, and that is as a customer. We have a team of people that we work with closely, like we do with you and your team, and but now you are a part of the Action Automotive team.
Yeah, it's a group effort. Like I said, like I've said before, from when we first started to now, your success is literally our success and vice versa.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, those that are, if you're seeing this again, really take into account the fact that Action Automotive is nothing without the current customers and the previous customers, or those that might be seeing this. It's understood, and that is the thing that's important from the local field versus corporate, because it could just be transactional, but you're very intentional with keeping the human aspect. And as we know, it's more important than ever, because there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of shops that are going to try to hide behind, this AI world, which I'm going to make that's a whole nother podcast to really dive into, because people think they can hide from, but that's the thing. Social media, you can't hide from anything, especially if you have a bad reputation, as much as you try to cover it up. And if you don't address it, because things are going to go wrong, but if you aren't addressing things, you're not the one sitting in the chair and you're trying to hide, and you might have something to comment versus jumping in front of the camera, you're going to be stuck in a hole where your well will dry up versus people wanting to pour into you. Because that's the one thing we all appreciate, is that human element of human interaction and human relationships. And as an Action Automotive, you guys hold the standard of taking care of not only your team internally, but the team of people that have walked into your doors, that have trusted you to work on their vehicles for the past, 18 going on 19 years.
Absolutely. We're all a team, and we're working together to keep people safe and keep people on the road. And the society requires you to have, most places require you to have a car. Most places, so there is places where it's not absolutely necessary, but most places you got to have a car. So, and it's got to be safe. It's not just you that is on the road, that the other people on the road are just as much in danger as you are. It's one of the most dangerous activities we do is drive.
Yeah.
And so anything we can do to make that safer, then we want to do it, because people are important. That's the difference between local shops and corporate shops. People are important to local shops, I believe. Corporate shops, it's not about the people. It's about that revenue. It's about that bottom line.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because everybody's going through it.
It's tough times out here, and you guys are going to take the time to actually listen, and most importantly, try to accommodate people in what they're currently going through, so it's not a dry reputation, because we understand that culture. You have a very cozy element when you go to Action Automotive. Where's it located? What's the address?
It's 818 East Moeller Street. Moeller Street is 6th Street turns into Moeller Street. And it's between Arizona Street and Rush Street, north of Sheldon. So we are off the beaten path, but it seems people like that. It does.
Really?
Yeah. It seems people like that it's not dead center, right in Front Street. Because I don't know. I think it's just something about it. Customers think that it's kind of cool. They got to go down this way and explore a little bit to get to where we are, and they've never been down in that area before. And stuff like that. So, but we are a little bit off the beaten path. If you're coming towards Yavapai College, you want to turn on north on Rush Street, and you run right into us, right at the end of the road there. And if you're coming from 6th Street, then you've got a bunch of stop signs you got to go through to get to us. But you can get there. It's like
Yeah.
4 stop signs.
Well, there you go.
It's like crap. Like, well, it's like I got to stop. It's kind of annoying, but
Well, that's where their expansion is coming in place. So if you're watching this, whether you're a college student at Yavapai College, or you're a longtime local, or you're driving to and from Prescott to Phoenix, and you're needing work before you go to the dealership, or you had a bad experience at another shop, if you want to go to a place that has a great reputation and has pride in the service that they provide, go see Justin and the team. Action Automotive, open Monday through Friday, and they will take care of you because they understand that the currency that's most important is the relationship first, and then the revenue second. And
absolutely,
you will be taken care of, and they want to get it done the first time, not the second,
done
not
right
the
the
third.
first time. That's the name of the game. The more that you can have it done right the first time, the better your reputation is going to be. Period.
There we
If
go.
it takes multiple times, then people aren't going to want to come back to you.
Hey,
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Got to know what you're doing. And thankfully, we have a crew of guys that know exactly what they're doing. Very professional and very serious about their profession.
Mhm.
And we're very blessed to have the crew that we have. Very
you-
blessed.
if you like what you just saw, click the link above or below and tell us that you like what you've heard, and we'll continue it. Or comment below that you want to see more weekly Action Auto content.
Yeah.
Say that. I need to get one clip of you saying